I'm out here on what is the first truly autumn-like day of autumn. The cigar I have is a budget-friendly cheapie. Where's the... Oh, I'm trying to get this in the shot here. There we go. A budget-friendly cheapie. Look at that ugly-ass brown label. It's because I live in Canada. And some of the not-so-open-minded leaders of the country think we have to hide the labels of our cigars because, you know, fancy labels mean they're trying to appeal to kids. However, it's the same country where you can buy gummy bears full of cannabis, and that's legal. Just saying. Not that there's anything wrong with smoking or consuming cannabis. It's just a bit of a gripe of mine that you gotta hide the label of the cigar to make sure you're not enticing young people to consume tobacco, but we can sell candy that gets you high. Yes, you have to go to a specialty store for the candy that gets you high, and they gotta ID you to get in there, but most cigars are bought in cigar shops, which are specialty stores. Filming on my cell phone, so the video's not great, and the audio's not great. The wind is probably jacking the mic up, but whatever. This is a very minimalist vlogging setup. Most of my life is packed up in boxes as I am transitioning from one place to the next. I've switched my location to the passenger seat of my car. I can tell you, this son of a bitch has a tight draw too. You know how I feel about tight draws by now, if you watch this channel a lot. Tight draw is not great. As you can see, if I can get it on camera, the cigar is not wrapped pretty too well. The wrapper's coming apart, like right there-ish. See it? I've had these before. It's an alright tasting cigar, but the construction, like with all cheap cigars, is not great. I don't know what the deal is, but these days I'm finding some challenges in keeping my cigars lit. I did get a new humidor. The hygrometer on it is telling me everything's in order, but I don't know. But trying to sort out a hygrometer and move and work and sell a house all at once is quite a task to undertake. Loads of fun. Anyways. I have smoked a lot of cheap cigars on this channel. And not all cheap cigars are made the same. That's for sure. One thing I've learned about cheap cigars is that for the most part, they are younger, not an aged tobacco. It's, you know, it's usually young, sweet, tobacco-ish. You know, better than Colts, better than, you know, Captain Blacks, certainly better than cigarettes. But nothing complex, nothing over the top. And I'm finding more and more, as I spend more time with cigars and my tobacco experience, that the cheaper stuff is less and less worth my time. I don't know. It's hard. Like when you're new to cigar smoking and you're not too sure about wanting to go deep in it, it's really hard to justify like $21 for a cigar. Which is about, honestly, in Canada, Somewhere between 12 and 21 is where you start to get decent tobacco. There's a few things that are budget friendly that are decent, like the little Arista Chicos. But to be fair, you're paying $5 for a cigar. It's smaller than a petite Corona. I think they're 4.5 inches by like a 34 ring gauge, which is, kind of the Arista is definitely the bottom of my my budget and my preference. This guy here, Casa de Garcia Maduro. I got a Maduro wrapper because Maduro tends to be better flavor profile. I've liked the aroma better, and it tends to. I just like the flavor profile better. A lot of the flavor, as far as I can tell, comes from the wrapper more than the binder and the filler. But I don't know. I could be wrong. It's not bad. The construction's good. It is a very tightly rolled cigar. The flavor profile is of young tobacco. It is sweet, it is cereal, it is, Shreddy's flavor profile. Not a lot of complexity. We're past the first third. If there's going to be any evolution, it'll be coming up soon. I try to have some wisdom in these videos, and I try to share some sort of a something. But today I don't got much. Just talking about a cigar. Casa de Garcia. I don't know much about this one. I do not believe it is Cuban at all. It is Maduro. It is, by the flavor profile, I'm going to think it's Honduran tobacco and not Nicaraguan. But I'd have to double check, and maybe I'll put a little thing on the screen that's like, Casa de Garcia, blah, blah, blah. Like right where my sleeve is. There we go. I'll put a little bit of information in there about this cigar. Da 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 da. Cool. Now you know. The thing about cheap cigars is they're a step up anyways. They're a step up from cigarettes. They're a step up from Colts and Swishers and, all that stuff. And where this cigar isn't incredibly inspiring, like I said, it's young, new tobacco, which is always, to me, sweet cereal. It may not be very inspiring to me. However, I'm grateful that I'm in a position that I can sit here on a cold autumn day, even though I'm in my car and out of the weather, which I'm grateful to be out of the weather. But I'm grateful I can even afford the luxury of a $7 cigar. So I'm not going to complain. But I think the point I was trying to make earlier about cheap cigars is moving forward in life. As my palate has evolved, I'll still dabble in the cheap cigars to, because you never know what you're going to find. You could find something that's great, like a basic W&D for $5 is a good cigar. Those really cheap Drew Estates that I had, those were really nice. However, I don't think they're on the market anymore. And there's also the Drew Estate factory smokes, which I think are $12 to $16 here, which arguably is cheap in terms of cigars. So there are some options. But moving forward, I feel like smoke less, but nicer. Right? So, yeah, you could buy probably 4 of these for the price of one Rocky Patel Winter Collection. But the Rocky Patel Winter Collection is going to be an overall more enjoyable flavor profile. Although I'm sure you've seen the video. If you haven't, you could check it out. I did a review of it. That was it was a tightly rolled cigar. It had a tight draw, and it took a long time to really get going. But when it was going, its flavor profile was one of the best I've had. Back to this particular cigar. The draw is so tight. I am struggling to get through it, and I am wondering what the heck is going on. And usually when the draw is tight like this, there's a big nasty stem in there. And like some of the more high-end cigars, they have a tendency of pulling the stems out. And at least the big nasty stems out, so they're not really going to mess with your smokability. Now, I don't have a draw pin. So what I'll do is I'll sometimes just get one of these little wood matches, and I'll just pop it in the back of the cigar to try to loosen it up a bit. Oh my God. This is like, wow, that is so tight. And there I can feel the give. Oh, and then it stopped dead. Yeah, there's some nasty stem in there somewhere. There we go. And the trick is, like as your cigar is lit, like it's warm to about here, right? And then back here it's cold, partly because of the weather. So basically I put my fingers to the edge of the warmth and I push that little match down until I can feel that it's inside the cigar by the warmth, and that should open up the draw for me. Let's find out. Oh yeah. I do not have one yet, but I feel like a draw pin is going to be a very good addition to my cigar accessory collection. I also should probably get a proper cigar lighter because using these little cheap Bics takes forever and is a challenge. Again, I have a new humidor, so that might be, well, not might be, it absolutely is impacting the cigars. And it's sitting probably around 72 or 74% humidity. Oh, you saw that plume of smoke. You know I've cracked the code. You know we're in. Now we're going to start seeing what this guy brings to the table. Now, I started this cigar in this video with every intention of filming it on my front deck. Obviously, Mother Nature did her best to thwart me, and therefore I am smoking in my car. Trying to keep the rain out. But we're here, we're enjoying it. And I guess the point is you can make the time to have a cigar. No matter what the challenges are, the weather, busyness, life getting in the way. All right, now we're getting into a little bit of evolution. So, honestly, what I'm getting a bit out of this is going to be that Colts, whiskey-flavored Colts sort of flavor profile. There's definitely a bourbony, whiskey, fermented grain alcohol flavor, but not the alcohol, just like the cereal notes of it in this bad boy. It's all right. We got some evolution coming on. More than I expected out of a $7 cigar, so hey, no complaints there. There's really only two ways, in my opinion, to smoke cigars. And one is by yourself, peacefully, quietly, meditatively. And another is with close friends. Now, maybe you're at a wedding and you want to smoke a cigar with some, perfect strangers, and, that's fine. But overall, it is a better experience when the cigar you're smoking is as high quality as the company you're keeping. And maybe that's where I'll leave on the idea of cheap cigars. Your cigar should be the same quality as the company you're keeping. Cheap cigars for cheap company? I don't know. Maybe. Not that I'm bashing it. To each their own. It's just a little bit of tongue-in-cheek comedy here. Bottom line, if you've got a passion for the hobby and you enjoy it, I do not care whether it's $2,000 or $20,000 for the cigar. Do you enjoy it? Do you love it? Then do it. If you like this kind of content, feel free to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I appreciate it. And if you don't like the content and you find it completely boring, you can still do me one favor. And that is, take her fucking easy. Later.